On the news tonight, federal government approves 32.8 billion naira to strengthen healthcare services across Nigeria. NDLEA stakeholders intensify campaign against drug abuse as Nigeria joins the global community to mark the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. Good evening and welcome to Nta Ijebu Ode News at 7. My name is Anthony Gandonu. Now the news in details. The federal government has approved the disbursement of 32.8 billion naira through the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund (BHCPF), implementing gateways to strengthen healthcare delivery across the country. The fund is aimed at sustaining recent gains in population health outcomes and disease control, while expanding access to quality primary health care services for citizens regardless of their location or socio-economic status. The approval was one of the major outcomes of the 15th Ministerial Oversight Committee meeting on the National Health Sector Renewal Investment Initiative, the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund, the sector-wide approach, and government and donor-funded program. The meeting was co-chaired by the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, and the Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Isaac Adekunle Salako. The meeting also reviewed key performance indicators, financial reports, program implementation, milestones, and emerging priorities required policy attention. Members identify strategic measures to address implementation bottlenecks and agree on timeliness for delivery priority interventions ahead of the next quarterly review.
We are committed to continue building on this effort so that Nigeria's health outcomes improves. And as we have seen on the continent of Africa, a recent report showed that Nigeria's health system is fourth in the continent, after South Africa, Tunisia, Kenya, and then Nigeria, even ahead of a country like Egypt. So we are seeing true progress with data to back it. And the 32.8 billion naira that was approved for disbursement will follow, will be channeled to the states, will support health insurance, will continue this good work alongside other interventions through the sector-wide approach. Primary healthcare is the foundation of Nigeria's health system. It is the responsibility of states and local governments. So we call on state governments to ensure there's adequate staffing for primary healthcare at the state level.
The other thing is that the ASPO continues to optimize emergency services, and now that we're bringing the private sector more on board, we have to start thinking of how to also pool private sector ambulances more optimally.
The meeting ended with renewed commitments from government institutions and development partners to strengthen collaboration and accelerate the delivery of impactful healthcare interventions across the country. A newly improved integration personal payroll information system, human resources module employees self-service application has been presented to civil servants as part of efforts to build effective institution driven not only by technology but capacity of motivating personnel. Herman Germany reports that a sensitization exercise on the public service mentoring policy and guidelines, also known as mentoring marketplace, was carried out as part of activities marking the 2026 Civil Service Week.
The new Integrated Personal Payroll Information System (HR) module is designed to empower both employers and managers through self-service functionalities that simplifies routine HR processes, reduce administrative delays, and improve operational efficiency. It aligns with the broader civil service reform objectives. The platforms enable civil servants to receive direct communication from the office of the head of the civil service of the Federation, among other features. The public service mentoring policy and guidelines represent the outlook of the federal public service for the future.
Part of a critical thing is that most civil servants don't even get to see their employee records, which is locked up in files until maybe they want to retire. But now this app allows them to even have that information handy. And also, for example, it lets them know when they are going to retire from service, which allows them to prepare for it.
And this one puts the power in the hand of the civil servants themselves. So unlike before that they have to go through a particular office and all that, now people can access services from comfort of their home or anywhere.
Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, DDL Sir Walton Jack, says these initiatives will strengthen processes, knowledge sharing, and leadership development across the service.
It represents a shift from a permission economy to an empowerment economy, where civil servants can access HR information, track their own records, and engage with processes that directly affect their livelihoods.
This is yet another significant and thoughtful component of FC, the reform blueprint, that signposts talent management, leadership pipelining, and capacity development as reform imperatives.
The platforms are believed to provide frameworks to improve organizational performance and effective workforce. Hamad Jabani, NTA News.
Nigeria's battle against illicit drug abuse and trafficking has been long coming, and the NDLEA is relentless on the field. The fierce tussle has seen increase in interdiction on illicit substance as the agency targets criminal networks to cut off their lifeblood effectiveness. Salwa Kali Ibrahim takes us through Nigeria as narcotic journey as the world commemorates International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking.
A silent pandemic, illicit drug abuse has become a threat to Nigeria's youth population, impacting her socio-economic stability. Across the country, the prevalence of synthetic opioids and other dangerous substances, including methamphetamine, diazepam, and tramadol, grows. And behind every illicit drug user is a supplier, fueling a destructive cycle that continues to erode the fabric of society. Just recently, the NDLEA dismantled a Nigerian-Mexican cartel operating a multi-million-dollar methamphetamine laboratory in Ogun State, while another major operation was uncovered in Oyo State.
They thought hiding in dense forests would shield them from the long arm of the law. They were indeed very wrong.
Aware of this menace, the war acknowledges illicit drug as a global problem and hopes to highlight the evolving nature of trafficking and abuse as an emerging threat.
It is a daily reality in our homes, our schools, and our streets. Despite our different backgrounds, our goal is singular, and that is a drug-free Nigeria.
The reality is that prevention, early intervention, treatment, and community resilience all happen closest to the people at the state and local government levels.
The necessity for Nigeria's fight against illicit drugs remains critical and top priority, though the journey towards a drug-free nation is challenging. Authorities are optimistic about the possibility, considering the NDLEA's unyielding effort to dismantle trafficking networks and protect communities from the devastating impact of drug abuse. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
In the meantime, the rising cases of substance abuse and trafficking of illicit drug has become a major concern, particularly in Ogun State, where the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has arrested about 1,000 and 77 suspects and prosecuted several offenders between January 2025 to date. Hakeem Jimoh reports that it was against this backdrop that the agency commemorates the 2026 International Day Against Drug Abuse and Trafficking with a sensitization work to promote public awareness.
The United Nations International Day Against Drug Abuse and Trafficking is commemorated annually to create awareness on the need for people to shun substance abuse. In Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, organized a sensitization walk which kicked off from the NDLEA head office, Ibarra, through major parts of the metropolis with stopovers at strategic points where participants suggest collaborative efforts to minimize substance abuse and illicit drug trafficking in the society. The Commander, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Ogun State Command, Tijani Rabe, at a press briefing to mark the day, listed some of the achievements of the command in the last 1 year to include seizure of assorted drugs and substances.
The command has succeeded in seizing 6,179.25 kilograms of cannabis sativa, 236.51 kilograms of methamphetamine, codeine, and tramadol put together. And we seized 1,435.62 liters of codeine-based syrup.
Wife of Ogun State Governor Bamidele Abiodun represented suggests a multifaceted approach to winning the war against the cankerworm.
Addressing drug abuse requires a comprehensive and coordinated approach. Law enforcement alone cannot solve the problem. Families must provide guidance and support. Schools must strengthen drug education and life skills programs. Religious and traditional institutions must continue to promote positive values.
More girls are going into this ill, than expected. So that is the focal point, and we are appealing to girls to please desist. Girls get destroyed. Nations are destroyed.
The theme of the 2026 United Nations International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking is the world drug problem, persistent issues, new challenges, innovative responses. In Abeokuta, Hakeem Jimoh, NTA News.
Elsewhere, from classrooms to corporate boardrooms, drug abuse is quietly tearing at the fabric of Nigerian communities, leaving virtually no corner of the story of the society untouched. In response, a massive shift is underway. Government agencies, NGOs, and traditional leaders are pushing for a new strategy, one that balances strict enforcement and community action, rehabilitation, and zero stigma. Ayomiku Ajibola takes a look at how the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, is adapting to lead this high-stake fight.
Substance use and drug abuse from time immemorial have been associated with long-term consequences such as mental health disorder, poor performance in school, organ damage, and increase in spate of violence and crime in the society. World Drug Day, officially known as the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, is observed annually on June 26, established to raise awareness about the global drug problem and strengthen cooperative action towards achieving a society free of drug abuse.
We have a pandemic on our hand with substance use.
I don't know what government is going to do about it. The drug taking with youth, with our youth now is too much.
So once they use it, they will misbehave in the society, and that can cause a lot of havoc into the society.
Between January 2021 and mid-2026, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have seized 15 million kilograms of assorted illicit drugs.
There are those who will be taken to court, prosecuted diligently. They are sentenced to various terms of imprisonment When they serve the term finish, they will return back to the same business.
In the first 5 months of 2026 alone, Chairman Buba Marwa noted that the agency impounded over $350 million worth of synthetic narcotic and industrial precursor in a single historic bust. In Ibadan, Ayomiku Ajibola, NTA News.
The news will continue after paying some bills. Please stay tuned. You are welcome back. The news continues. The shocking murder of veteran broadcaster Madam Nta Ijebu Ode and her security guard has continued to generate outrage and grief across Ogun State as police revealed how a former employee allegedly masterminded the deadly attack. Yemi Dalemo reports that police has arrested 3 suspects following an investigation into the killing of the retired broadcaster and her security guard at her residence in Abeokuta.
For many residents and media practitioners who knew the late veteran broadcaster Nta Ijebu, the circumstances surrounding her death remain difficult to comprehend. The retired broadcaster, who was enjoying her retirement years, had her life cut short in a gruesome attack that also claimed the life of her 38-year-old security guard, Pelumi Adetayo. The incident came to light on June 21st when concerned persons noticed suspicious activities around the deceased residence and alerted the police, prompting an immediate investigation into the tragic development. 4 days after the incident, the Ogun State Commissioner of Police, Bode Ojajuni, paraded the principal suspect, 22-year-old Shudende Olajuwon Philip, alongside his alleged accomplices, Shakiru Abdulkarim Ayola, 27, and Shobu Obafunsho, 36, at the police command headquarters in Ileweran, Abeokuta. Police authorities disclosed that a major breakthrough in the investigation came from a handwritten note allegedly left behind at the crime scene, which provided vital clues that aided detectives in tracking down the suspects.
Piece of evidence recovered from the scene was a handwritten note apparently left behind by the perpetrators. That one met on her chest. The handwriting was totally different from others that were spread. The family identified the other papers on the table as the deceased handwriting, but the one we met on her chest, the family said, no, this is not her handwriting.
According to the police findings, the principal suspect, who had previously worked for the deceased, allegedly harbored grievances against her and reportedly stated during interrogation that the attack was intended to teach her a lesson.
The suspects have made useful statements and substantial evidence have been recovered in the course of the investigation. All suspects remain entitled to due process under the law. The investigation is ongoing to consolidate all available evidence and ensure diligent prosecution of all suspects connected with the crime.
Reacting to the breakthrough, the chairman of Nigeria Union of Journalists Ogun State Council, Comrade Wale Olariwaju, commended the Ogun State Police Command for its swift and professional handling of the investigation, which led to the arrest of the suspects. While the suspect remained innocent until proven guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction, many residents say the arrests have renewed public confidence in the capacity of security agencies to unravel complex criminal cases. As the matter progresses to prosecution, family members, colleagues, and admirers of the deceased are hopeful that justice will be served for the 2 lives tragically cut short. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
So much for the news tonight. Join us next week for another interesting package. From me, good night.